Hi guys, so today we're going to look at the potential sectors to watch under the current US president. Whilst this video isn't sponsored, some of the data within it has come from the lovely team at Stake. If you haven't heard of them before, check out some of my videos. They're an awesome platform if you predominantly invest in the US stock market. I'll link the video somewhere here where I talk more about that. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this should be taken as financial advice. Do your own research. This is just to give you some ideas of things that you should potentially look at. If we look at the data, since 1933, Democratic presidents have had a good track record of delivering really good stock market return. The inflation adjusted 10.2% on the S&P 500 by the Democrats dwarfs the 6.9% by their Republican counterparts. According to Schroders though, this can be explained by the different effects that their policies can have and essentially the net impact of them. So certain policies will cause certain sectors to go up and others will cause certain sectors to go down, and it's about the net impact of the two. You can see here, neither political party is exclusively good or bad for markets. Instead, what matters more is the policies presidents choose to enact and their net impact. For example, although Trump's tax cuts were widely seen as a positive development for markets, his handling of foreign policy and trade issues had the opposite effect. So let's look at the two sectors that can potentially have some big gains and some of the stocks within those sectors that could potentially be ones to do your own research on. So first we've got the renewable energy sector, and I'll be surprised if you're surprised by that. Have you seen my portfolio updates? Plug Power is absolutely killing it. If you follow American politics, one of Biden's strongest selling points in his campaigns was the environment. Well, his stance on the environment. He actually pledged that the United States would become carbon neutral by 2050, which is a huge, bold move, but I'm really glad he did it. Currently, only 20% of all energy in the United States is from renewable sources. That's like a huge potential for the market to expand in the renewable energy sector. There will need to be a huge adoption of solar, wind, and other energy sources if they want to reach their goal by 2050. Over the last 12 months, First Solar and Sunrun have risen fivefold in Stake's most traded stocks. First Solar is actually the fastest growing stock when it comes to earnings per share. It's gone up 400%. Rising earnings actually show that a company is growing and creating more income than it can reinvest and distribute to shareholders, which is a really good sign. First Solar designs and manufactures solar power systems and solar modules. They utilize a thin film semiconductor technology to manufacture electricity producing solar modules. In the last quarter of 2020, they reported year-on-year net income growth of 406%, along with year-on-year net sales growth of 69.6%. Now, the company with the highest total return when it comes to alternative energy sources is Plug Power. If you follow my portfolio updates, you know that Plug Power has been absolutely killing it in my portfolio. They've actually had a return of over 600% in the last 12 months, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. Plug Power designs, manufactures, and sells fuel cell systems used in electric lift trucks and other equipment. They serve customers in retail, grocery, manufacturing, and food distribution worldwide. Now, on November 30th, they announced that they were partnering with hydrogen-powered heavy vehicle maker Guasam, hopefully I pronounced that right, to produce a new suite of vehicles for sale in 2021. McKinsey & Co. actually forecast that the global hydrogen economy could grow to $2.5 trillion by 2050. Now, if you aren't comfortable researching individual stocks and making a decision on whether or not you feel comfortable investing in them, then one thing to consider could be the iShares Global Clean Energy ETF. The ETF holds multiple clean energy stocks and it will diversify your risk when it comes to investing. The second sector worth keeping an eye on is the cannabis sector. Now, whilst I'm not a big fan of this myself, I have to remain objective, and this could potentially grow a lot under the Biden presidency. The Biden and Harris campaign backed the decriminalization and legalization of cannabis in America. That would be a huge thing for the cannabis sector. If this does happen, the sector could potentially blow up even more than it is at the moment. However, there are critics who say that they don't necessarily completely believe his stance on this, considering how he's previously spoken out about it. Now, a lot of people say that this sector will grow substantially at some point. Now, the question is it going to be in 2021 or is it going to be further down the line? And at the moment, I think that the sector is priced quite high because people are probably expecting this to happen. So this is already priced in a little bit into the prices. So potentially a little bit of a speculative investment, but perhaps long-term, not so speculative. So according to Stake, their three most popular cannabis-related stocks are Canopy Growth, Aurora Cannabis, and Tilray. They are up 63%, 145%, and 197% since the election. So this is what I mean about them already sort of pricing in, expecting cannabis to be legalized in the States. The final thing I want to mention is actually about Stake. Whilst they currently have over 4,000 US listings, which is far more than some of the other platforms that I talk about, they will be adding all listed US stocks with a market cap over 300 million to their platform over the next few months. This is probably going to be over 7,000 US stocks. So if you want access to some of the stocks that aren't available on platforms like Free Trade and Trading 212, then check out Stake. And if you sign up using my link and top up within 24 hours, you'll get a free share of either Nike, GoPro, or Dropbox. That's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.